Yo, what is up, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the featherweight fight between Kamaka III and Jonathan Pearce. Kamaka III is a natural featherweight fighter. Jonathan Pearce is a natural lightweight fighter. And he was actually supposed to fight Sean Woodson at lightweight on this fight card. But Sean Woodson ended up pulling out of the fight. I don't really know why. But now Jonathan Pearce is going to move down a weight class to fight Kamaka III, stepping in on, I believe, 2 weeks' notice to fight Jonathan Pearce. So, I mean, Kamaka III, he is almost a top 100 featherweight in the world. Jonathan Pearce, a top 140 lightweight in the world. This should be a pretty good fight. Kamaka is 8-2. He's on a very, very good streak right now. Jonathan Pearce is 9-4. And he just recently got another one of his losses to Joe Lozon in his first ever UFC fight. This fight is actually not too close, according to the odds makers. Kamaka III is currently the minus 385 favorite to win this fight. Jonathan Pearce plus 315. So Kamaka III is obviously a huge favorite to win this fight. I mean, he's 25 and a half years old. Jonathan Pearce is 28 and a half years old. So age definitely won't be playing a factor in this fight. But something that will be playing a factor is the height and reach of Jonathan Pearce. He has huge advantages in both categories. His height is 6 foot tall. Kamaka III's height, 5 foot 7 inches tall, which is a 5-inch height advantage for Jonathan Pearce in this fight. Also, Jonathan Pearce, 71.5-inch reach. Kamaka III, 69-inch reach, which is a 2.5-inch reach advantage. So definite good advantages there for Jonathan Pearce in this fight. Now, if you look at those Topology predictions for this fight, it's actually not that close. 87% of the votes are going for Kamaka III to win this fight. Most people predicting Kamaka III to win this fight are saying he's going to win the fight by unanimous decision. Literally no one thinks either fighter is going to win this fight by submission. This fight is definitely going to be staying on the feet. It's going to be a good kickboxing bout. Kamaka III, some people do think he's going to win the fight by knockout. He does have pretty good power. Some people also do think Jonathan Pearce will win this fight by knockout. He has pretty okay power as well. And some people do think Jonathan Pearce will win this fight by unanimous decision. All definite good outcomes for this fight. I really doubt the fight's going to end as submission. I kind of doubt the fight's going to end as knockout. I think this fight is going to be a technical fight on the feet. And one of the fighters is going to go all the way and win the fight by decision. So I don't really see a knockout or a submission in this fight. This fight is definitely going all the way. Alright, so if you look at Kamaka III's record, 8-2, a total of 10 pro MMA bouts. He actually started his career back in 2011, got a decision win in kickboxing, then a unanimous decision win in MMA, a first-round rear naked choke submission over Nui Wheeler, and that's where he ended up joining KOTC, where he ended up getting his first ever loss to Andrew Natividad, Kevin Natividad's brother, but lost a fight because in the end of the first round, he ended up injuring his arm, and his coaches, I believe, ended up pulling him out from that fight. He was supposed to fight Tony Ortega, but ended up fighting Jeffrey Mesa about 2 years after that injury against Andrew Natividad, and lost that fight as well by unanimous decision. Came back after those two losses with a unanimous decision win over Rick James, a unanimous decision win over Mauricio Diaz, and a unanimous decision over Shojin Miki in Bellator, and then another unanimous decision over Spencer Higa. Now, after all those wins, he was 6-2, and ended up joining the LFA at the beginning of 2020, and ended up fighting an undefeated prospect in Michael Stock. In my opinion, I actually predicted that fight, and I thought Michael Stock would have won the fight because his ground game, his ground abilities are so good. But Kamaka III really showed that he has ground abilities as well and can keep the fight on the feet if he wants to, and dominate the fight on the feet, and that's exactly what he did against Michael Stock, and won the fight by unanimous decision, getting him a shot inside the UFC, where he ended up fighting a pretty good fighter in Tony Kelly, and ended up winning that fight by unanimous decision, literally 15 days after he won that unanimous decision over Michael Stock, and now looks to fight Jonathan Pearce on short notice. Alright, so Jonathan Pearce, a little bit more fights than Kamaka III. He is 9-4, a total of 13 pro MMA bouts. He's 28 years old, as we said at the beginning of this video. He started his career as an amateur back in 2013, a little bit up and down in that amateur career, with 2 first-round knockouts at the start of his career. Lost one, won one, lost a first-round rear naked choke submission, got a second-round rear naked choke submission, and then 2 unanimous decisions. And he became a pro in 2014, I believe in November. Got a a win in Tennessee Regional. Then it got a unanimous decision win over Anthony Morgan, a first-round knockout over Chris Wright, and a second-round knockout over Nicolas Martino. After those 4 first wins as a pro MMA fighter in 2016, he ended up getting a big step up in competition against Lance Lawrence, who was undefeated at that time, but ended up losing the fight by first-round submission. In his next fight, ended up losing that one as well by first-round submission, and his fight after that, he lost as well by unanimous decision. Came back on Bellator MMA Fight Series with a third-round rear naked choke submission and a second-round knockout, followed by a second-round TKO and a second-round doctor stoppage win over Dedrick Saunders, and a third-round knockout over Jacob Rosales on Contender Series back in 2019. And Jacob Rosales, he is a guy who got a main event spot in the LFA, I believe, and he ended up knocking him out in the third round, getting him a shot in the UFC at the end of 2019, where in his first fight with the promotion, ended up fighting Joe Lozon, but sadly ended up losing that fight to the veteran fighter by a first-round TKO, and looks to come back with a nice win here against Kai Kamaka III. Alright guys, so Jonathan Pearce, he is such a huge underdog to win this fight, plus 315, Kai Kamaka III, minus 385. I'm kind of a little bit against those odds. I think Kai Kamaka III should be around a minus 220, minus 230, somewhere around that range, minus 385, a 4-1 favorite to win this fight. I don't really think so. Jonathan Pearce, he has very, very good power. He can definitely clip you at any point in the fight. Kai Kamaka III definitely is very, very good on the feet. If this fight goes all the way, I guarantee you Kai Kamaka III is going to win the fight. Jonathan Pearce could win the fight by decision, but I kind of doubt it. I think Jonathan Pearce's main way of winning this fight is going to be by knockout. And it's very likely that he could get a knockout in this fight. He has pretty good power. I just don't see that happening. I think Kai Kamaka III is way too elusive with his movement. He likes to move a lot around the cage, hit you with a lot of good leg kicks, bounce around the cage, hit you with some nice jabs, go in for a good right hand. He's just an all-around very, very sound MMA fighter. And I really think Kai Kamaka III is going to dominate this fight and win the fight by unanimous decision. But don't sleep on Jonathan Pearce in this fight. I think he is a parlay buster. So definitely do not bet against Jonathan Pearce in this fight if you're putting Kai Kamaka III in a parlay. But yeah, I do have Kai Kamaka III winning this fight by unanimous decision. Alright guys, if any of you agree with this prediction or if you disagree with the prediction, I really don't know. Put it in the comment section below. I will reply to you if you're wrong and you're choosing Jonathan Pearce to win this fight. I mean, I don't really blame you. He's a good underdog to win this fight. If you're saying like the fights were minus 100 for both of them and you're going to choose Jonathan Pearce, then we're going to have a little bit of a problem because obviously Kai Kamaka III, he has a huge chance of winning this fight. Probably not minus 385, but make sure to put your prediction down in the comment section below. Any ideas for future videos, also make sure to put that in the comment section below. Make sure to like this video, make sure to subscribe, put on notifications so you don't miss the absolute best MMA content out there. We post videos every single day, predictions, LFA, UFC, Contender Series, literally all the stuff you guys want. Put in the comment section below. I'm out of here, let's go.